This is the Assistrust 50 watt 32-inch soundbar. Let's take it out of the box. Obviously we have a lot here to go over, but it's fairly simple and very quick. In the box you get the user guide, remote control for the unit. Here is the soundbar itself, power adapter that just plugs in, goes to a barrel jack connector. They give you a line-in cable right here. This is a 3.5 millimeter TRS plug at each end, and a 3.5 millimeter to two RCAs, the red and white, as you see right there. So you can plug in that way if you want. HDMI you can do. Screws with wall anchors. Optical in cable, sometimes called TOSLINK or PDIF. And stands, which are right over here. You may be curious as to why there are stands, and the reason there are stands is because this soundbar can be converted into two separate speakers. The way that works, you pick the unit up, give it a twist, and it comes apart. And now these will stand up like that, mounted on the bases. The bases are already connected via a wire, so it has everything you need right there. You just put them on the bases, and of course then they'll stand up properly, and you can use them that way. From a bird's eye perspective, you'll notice that the speakers are different sizes, but not to worry, because the stands are different sizes as well. So obviously this will go on the shorter one, this will go on the longer one as such, and that way they'll be equal standing up next to each other. I'll show you. And there you go. Very simple like that. So now you can separate these out for, you know, better stereo separation, or put it back together in the actual, you know, long soundbar configuration as such, and do that. Let's show you the ports on the back of this. So it's a bit dark in there, but you have all the way on the left is actually a USB port, but it says service only, and you'll notice there is no USB cable that is included. To the right of that is an HDMI ARC port, audio return channel. Then you have the optical port, then you have the aux in port, and then of course power. So let's get this all hooked up and connected, and we'll give it a test. Before we do that, I just want to tell you a little bit more about it. First of all, this can of course be wall mounted. There is an opening on each speaker if you wanted to mount it as a bar on the wall. So you have buttons on the soundbar in the center over here when it's in this configuration, or it would be on the right speaker standing up. But of course you have a remote. This takes two AAA batteries. They are not included, so you do need to supply those yourself. This also has another connection I didn't tell you about, Bluetooth 5.0, so you can connect in from a phone or a tablet or any other Bluetooth device and play music through it. Really convenient if you have one of those open floor plan designs and just want some music on while you're maybe in the kitchen making dinner. Total output power of this is 50 watts. There are a total of 4 speakers inside, 2 in here and 2 in there. Alright, so now we'll give this a test. We'll power it on, and it goes into Bluetooth mode. I got my phone here, and we'll search for it, and here it is, KY8000, and we're connected. So now I have some copyright-free music on the phone here that we're going to test out with. It's unfortunate that I have to play copyright-free music, but that unfortunately is the way of the world. The good part is nobody likes copyrighted music, so you won't judge whether or not you like the soundbar based on the kind of music that I'm going to play. Turn that down first. It's there. It's good. We're going to crank this way up now. So we'll turn that way down. It seems to work great, no problem at all. We're going to move on now. I'm going to hook a line-in source to this. I have a laptop I'm going to hook up to it. I'm going to hook the laptop up to it because one thing I did want to point out, this soundbar does not have a USB port where you can plug in like a flash drive to it, which I had prepared for this right here. I have this flash drive with some music on it, but I can't just plug it into that. And that's not a deal breaker for a lot of people. For me, I like the ability to be able to just plug that thing in, have it there, and forget about it. And then if I want music, I can just either hit the button on here or grab the remote, turn it on. I don't have to worry about getting my phone connected, notification sounds on the phone, or anything else like that, turning on a stereo system and getting all of that configured, and then you forget which button to press for this and that, and it's just so much easier to be able to plug a flash drive in and just have music play on random and no other stuff needed. So that is an omission, like I said, not a deal breaker, but you do have to keep that in mind. Alright, so I have a laptop hooked up now, and we're going to play some more music from it. So we'll just play that, and then we're going to mess around with the boost button on here. So like I said, it has a boost button. Let's press it. It definitely boosted something. Boost it again. And then off. I think probably a little bit of boost is good. I'll turn that down for a second, and let's go and pick something else over here. And we're going to crank this way up again. You seem to get the tiniest bit of distortion at full volume, but I must say that this laptop's output is very hot. So I really am giving this soundbar too hot of a signal to start with. I can turn that down in the system, of course, but I am catching just the slightest bit of distortion, at least in this one. Let's try something else over here. What do we have? Let's try this. We're going to crank this up. Definitely not bad. Only at the very highest volume am I catching just the slightest, tiniest bit. But again, that just could be due to my setup here with that. Let's take something else over here. This one has a lot of treble. So all around, I don't think it's too bad at all. It's pretty good. It has a couple of minor shortcomings, but for what it is and what it's supposed to really be, which is to be hooked up to a TV, because you know what happened was, you know, years ago we had those old CRT TVs, you know, the big glass tube looking things, and then we got flat screens. But the part they didn't tell us is that when we went to flat screens, the sound would get flat. So that's why we have sound bars now. So that really enhances the sound. You've heard your TV just with its built-in speakers aplenty, and it's not as great as it was back in the day. So like I said, you know, the sound went flat, so now we have sound bars. And this will brighten up any TV audio without a question, without any problem at all. All around, I think it's pretty good. If it had the flash drive USB input, would make it just that much better. But again, that's really something for me. Not that many people are going to be that interested in that. And as far as the interference, we're going to call that negligible at the highest volume, because A, how often are you going to be playing this at top volume, especially if you're in an apartment? It ain't going to happen, okay? And the second thing is that it could be due to my setup here. We are running a analog cable in, okay, through an optical cable like this or the HDMI cable. Chances are there's going to be none of that interference, if any, is being picked up by the wire, which is certainly a possibility. Plus the fact that this laptop's output is quite overdriven, so that's you know, another part of it there. All around, I think it's a pretty good deal for the price, with some reservations, but otherwise excellent. And one feature that, again, we looked at before that you cannot overlook is the fact that this can be separated into two separate units, so it'll stand up at each end. And that is really convenient, because sometimes you just don't have the room or the space to put a long sound bar like that. But you do have that room vertically, because, you know, instead of taking up this much room, the base is, you know, this big. So you might have that room, and you will even get better sound quality that way because of better stereo separation. So that is a nice plus that this has. All around, really not bad. I definitely do like it. Once again, this was the Assistrust 50-watt 32-inch soundbar. If you'd like to purchase this item, I'll leave a link in the video description where you can find the item available for sale on Amazon. Thanks for watching. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.